So I'm here with Ryan Hart,
What's going on?
a legend in the community, and I have a few questions for you. First, an FGC question. How do you feel about the current state of FGC, and do you like the direction that it's taking?
So, I mean, you've got multiple opinions and personalities and people with different goals. They want to get other things from the FGC. So you're going to run into calamity when these, ideas start butting heads, basically. I think it's in a space where we kind of have to make room for things that we maybe don't agree with or don't believe in. Okay. Publishers might have a certain direction that they want their game to take that we don't, as consumers, particularly value or think is a good idea or whatever, right?
To beginner friendly, agree.
So I'm not saying one's better than the other, because at the end of the day, the business of gaming, of consumer gaming, it's about being lucrative. It's about generating revenue, right? There are specific targets that have to be met.
True.
A lot of the times we don't, as consumers, realize, but if their game doesn't work out the way they want it to, or more specifically need it to, there won't be another iteration. And I think we've come from a space where in the FGC we've been privy to many different fighting games, right? And so we're a little bit spoiled sometimes.
Spoiled.
We have super high expectations. We demand that they give us what we want and all this stuff. And the business side is often neglected in that process. People don't really always understand that there is a certain directive that they have from people above them where they aren't in control of certain directions that their products take, I'm not saying that everything they do is perfect. No, it isn't. But who is perfect, right? There's no exact science to some of these business moves that happen. It's just game development and also game publishing alike are both susceptible to bad timing. You can have the biggest budget in the world. You can have the best creative vision. If your timing is off, it can ruin everything. So timing is key. Targeting the right audience is key. I mean, this is a conversation that I could extend for a very long time. So I know you got other questions. So
I completely understand.
But yeah, it's going to take a little bit of humility. People are going to have to accept that they maybe won't get everything they want. Try to understand each other. This is supposed to be the FG community. The C is for community, And for me, for those that maybe watching this interview don't know, I started this in the 90s. I started this in the 90s. And I'm one of the pioneers of this community that we have today. We didn't know that there were communities in other countries. I started traveling around and sharing the wealth of knowledge that I had when I came back. I came back to the UK saying, hey, they've got super strong players in North America. Nobody knew because there was no YouTube, there was no internet, we'd never seen anything. So going there was the only thing you could actually do. And I was fortunate enough to win a tournament that flew me to Japan, where I got to go to Japan and learn about the skill there and the wealth of players that they had there on all different games, not even just fighting games. Went back to the UK, told everyone in the UK community, went to France, shared everything that I knew about Japan and the UK in France, Spain, Italy, Portugal, Greece, Poland, Germany, the list goes on and on. North America, Korea. I flew everywhere. And I would always share everything that I knew. And we're talking about in the 90s. I started that journey in the 90s.
Right.
So when I went to America, they were like, wow, you guys are pretty good at tech. I'm like, yeah, there's guys just as good as me. It's not like I'm the only guy that plays the game. There's loads of different people all over Europe, not just the UK. There's talent everywhere. France as well. There's talent everywhere. And so for me, it's a little bit sad that we've kind of lost a little bit of that magic where we were just passionate people. We were people that were glad that there's others like us that share our passion. And we just wanted to enjoy the game together. And the internet helped us to do that because now we can play, across the pond, right? We can play people that aren't in the same city and so on. So there's a lot of good things that have come from publisher progress, from developer progress. And we should be happy about that, right? Rather than saying, well, we still don't have this and that. And it really does... I don't know. It kind of weakens what we've accomplished as a community, Okay. So I do believe that if we want things to improve, we first have to start at a place where we understand each other. If you're going to get into an argument with someone, you want to identify what the goal is, right? You don't want to just be wasting words. Why are we doing this? What's the purpose of this argument, And so when people on Twitter and Discord and all these different social media platforms start to get into these debates about what pub devs are doing, we should understand what their objectives are. What's the goal? Their goal isn't to sit at our feet and beg for mercy. They've got directives, they've got things they need to accomplish, right? They're all people that have families and trying to feed kids and stuff too. So if they're told they need to do this for their product, that's what they got to do. So I just think that we need to be a bit more understanding. Everybody needs to be a bit more understanding.
100%.
And sort of try to come together in a way where we can work with each other and really appreciate what we have as a community, because one day this might all be gone.
100%.
This might all be gone, and we'll wonder what happened. We'll be like, oh my, I let it go. People will have kids, and their kids will come out and be like, back in the day, we used to have this amazing community. It's all gone now, So before that happens, we should try and take a step back.
And appreciate what we have.
Yeah, take a really, really large chill pill and just relax for a bit. And just take it back to the drawing board a little bit and be like, you know what? I might not like this part of the community. I might not like the way that this pub dev works. I might not like this and that, but I'm going to make an effort to try and get along. And if everybody does a bit of that, we should have something better than what we have today. And I do believe there's a chance to remedy this, because the sole purpose we got into this was from passion.
Right.
We wouldn't be here if we didn't like the games. We genuinely like to play the games, right? So if we can kind of preserve that as kind of like let's say the catalyst for our movement, I think we can preserve this. I think we can turn this around into something that is less toxic, more fulfilling, and brings people together in a positive way.
Okay, that actually covers most of the questions that I had, because I was going to ask you about community, I was going to ask you about the international aspect of esports, and I was going to ask you about your time also within Apex and being international as well. Is it comparable to the FGC when it comes to the community that we have and intermixing our APAC North, APAC South, EMEA, and America players and coming together, learning from each other, and experiencing these things together in LAN? Well, this is your second LAN, correct?
It's competitive gaming, so there's always crossovers. There's always going to be overlapping areas where there's similarities, because it's the pulse of it is passionate movement, right? So you're always going to find, no matter what game, there's going to be similarities. But yes, the Apex community is different to the FGC.
100%.
They've come in from other games. A lot of these guys have played Overwatch before. They've played Call of Duty before. They've played CS before. They've played League of Legends. There are people that come in from fighting games. And the interesting thing with Apex is, no matter who you talk to, depending on what game they came from, they have a different view of Apex.
100%.
They see the game differently. If you talk to someone from the FGC that plays Apex, they have a completely different window into how the game operates to someone that comes from Overwatch, to someone that comes from League, someone that comes from Dota or FIFA, whatever the genre of game, right? So that makes it a very, very unique community. And like you said, there are different regions coming together as well to make these events come to fruition, right? As we saw we saw the wealth of the community in Sapporo, Japan, filling up the baseball dome,
it was 30,000 to see.
It's just ridiculous, right? So there's a lot of magic in what we have here, and whether it's Apex, whether it's another game, I think we've got something really, really good that we should make effort individually to preserve.
Okay, that's great to hear. I love that you are very passionate about, obviously the esports has been your career, it's been pretty much your life, being a pioneer in the scene and still having so much love for it 30 years strong is great to see. I appreciate it.
It's been a while. I mean, I think that a lot of the younger kids as well that come through have a lot of access to stuff now, so they won't have realized that it was a lot different back in the day, and we didn't have as many resources and stuff. Traveling was a big deal, even having the money to get on a plane was a thing,
a big deal.
So I think a lot of this stuff that we've made a bit more accessible for the youth today is a good positive step forward. And in the same way that we've made strides to make the FGC more accessible and user friendly, I think we should continue in that vein of thought. We should continue in that thought process and try and keep things, let's just keep the cogs in the clock working, man. I mean, we can do this. We're a team. We should think like that, And I think there's too many efforts to single out other people that then become your enemies for whatever reason. I don't like you because of this. You believe in this political party. You spend money that way. You're from this country. You're from that religion. It's almost like we want to be enemies. We're finding reasons to not like each other.
A lot of nitpicking.
Yeah, we don't want to like each other. And it's just like, why would you want to create a world where you have multiple enemies? Why would you want that? Why wouldn't you want to create peace? You should strive to, because analysis is a core fundamental thing in gaming, and analysis cannot happen without calm.
Very true.
And so calm comes from, it's like a cousin of peace. Calm is a very gentle cousin of peace, and you need those things to make the FGC function properly. If you have anarchy and calamity and chaos and everyone hates everyone and no one believes in the products anymore, and I don't want to go to the local because this person's there, you can't function. You cannot function. You're destroying yourself from the inside out. The passion you came into this with, you're killing that. You individually killing that. No, you might think it's this person that you don't like. No, it's you. You're telling yourself that it's that person. So I just wish that maybe in the many people that watch this, if at least one person recognizes that there's some value in what I'm saying, I'll be happy that this interview was a very large success.
You dropped a lot of gems. You gave a lot of inspiration, and hopefully somebody that sees this, that has this long-lasting feud with whoever they have at
Let
their
it go.
local,
Let the beef go. Run the set. Take the W, take the L, but let it go, you know?
Let them get their rematch, get the full set in, learn from it, go on from it, grow from it, and try to make peace within our community. Bring us back all together, actually bring the community together again. And I feel like we can do more with positivity than we can with negativity. And I think that is going to be a strong message to go into the future with. So
I'm gonna have to go because I need to get this Cajun jambalaya. It's sick. The food here is ridiculous, man.
Yeah, the food here is crazy.
I'm trying to get these po' boys, jambalayas, like the Taco Tuesday thing. I had these sick Taco Tuesday. I had like a fish taco. The chicken one, the sauce was mad.
Oh yeah, there's a place around the corner too.
The chicken tacos. If you're ever in New Orleans, you need to go to, I think it's called Johnny Sanchez Mexican joint. They got like a Taco Tuesday thing. Is gassed.
Okay, all right. If you get a chance to go to Gus's Chicken, it's right around the corner, like a half a mile. Also gas. I had that for lunch today. Yeah, I might go back. And there's a million places to eat though. I might go back. But no, I appreciate it. 100%. I appreciate it.